Our first inductee in this year's Builders class clearly fits that description. So let's start at the beginning. A player in his youth, he became involved with the Ridge Meadows Minor Lacrosse Association in 1996, and over the next 15 years coached minor lacrosse teams in both box and field genres and at virtually all ages. He coached provincial championship teams in the U13, U14, and U16 field lacrosse brackets, in the midget A1 box division, and at the 2008 BC Summer Games. He was also instrumental in bringing both boys in 2006 and girls in 2009 field lacrosse programs to Ridge Meadows, and introducing and then coaching field lacrosse at Pitt Meadows Secondary School. As if he didn't have enough on his plate, he became general manager of the Maple Ridge Burrards of the Western Lacrosse Association in 2016, and over the ensuing 3 seasons, helped guide the Burrards to 2 WLA titles. For his efforts, he was twice named Ridge Meadows Coach of the Year, and was also honored as the association's Volunteer of the Year. These accomplishments are in themselves Hall of Fame worthy. But perhaps his greatest contributions to the game came when he became first in 2008, the BC Lacrosse Association's regional field coach, and then in 2010, the Team BC Field Lacrosse Coordinator, a position he held for 10 years. The Team BC program is a vehicle for young men and women to train with the goal of becoming model student athletes and to travel to recruiting tournaments throughout North America. Under his guidance, the program became one of the BCLA's most successful endeavors. When he took charge, there were 3 Team BC squads, 2 men's and 1 women's. The program now boasts 10 traveling teams, U18, U16, U15, and U14 men's teams, and senior, junior, sophomore, freshman, and middle school women's teams, as well as the Recruits, a non-traveling group that focuses on skill development for elementary school girls. The benefits of the program to male and female student athletes have been staggering, as over 260 young British Columbians have earned university scholarships in the US and Canada since he took control of the Team BC program. Such dedication and passion, and of course results, is the definition of a true builder of the sport. Please welcome Hall of Famer Rey Comeault.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame for this great honor that is before me, and congratulations to the other 2022 Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame inductees. It's very important to express my appreciation to my wife, Sandra, who supported me and encouraged me through 24 adult-aged years of very intense lacrosse involvement. It was an incredible journey, and without her approval, I certainly wouldn't be here today. I'm so fortunate and proud to have had children who themselves committed them to very different athletic adventures. My son Zachary played collegiate baseball and graduated with a college degree. My daughter Shannon competed in trampoline gymnastics for Team Canada, representing them in Japan and Belgium on the international stage. And my son Regan, who really drew me to lacrosse and developed my love for the sport. He had a successful collegiate career at Ohio State University, obtained his degree, and on the way represented Team Canada at the U19 World Championships in Turku, Finland in 2012. Special thank you to my brother Chris for his continued support. When I began to reflect on my lacrosse career of involvement, my recollections really centered around people. When I first began coaching a group of very eager and anxious 4-year-olds in mini-type box lacrosse, many of which currently reach out to me and share in their life successes, I was compelled to be the best coach that I could be. Didn't hurt having Al Luthwaite as one of the parents, because he was quite intimidating, that's for sure. Not having played the sport organized when I was a youth, I began to play Masters Box Lacrosse in Ridge Meadows with another eager over 30s group of guys. As the kids continued to age, field lacrosse began to really grow in its infancy stage, and Ridge Meadows did not have a community field lacrosse program. I reached out to Cam Davis, the then Pacific Coast Field Lacrosse Chair, and asked him if we could enroll a U11 team from Ridge Meadows in the POCO Field Association. His answer was swift and sure: no way, start your own field association. So in fact, that's what I did. With the assistance of some parents, Billy Weslowski purchased the humongous nets, held registration. Ridge Meadows purchased some jerseys. I picked up a yellow spray paint contraption, threw the lines down at Harris Road Park, and one of the largest field lacrosse associations in BC currently was born. Having now coaching a sport that I didn't play as a youth, I began playing masters field lacrosse in Poco with a very eager and talented group of individuals that still play to this day. My first taste of national stage lacrosse came when I was named the assistant coach to the 2004 Team BC Pee Wee Box team. Danny Green was the head coach. Of more significance, Dan Perot and Nick Delmonico, two other greats, were assistant coaches. Why that was important was in 2006, when I was named the head coach of Bantam Team BC Box, I right away convinced Dan and Nick to assist me. Well, we went on to win the national championship in Whitby. New territory continued to be my lacrosse destiny as Regan's first overall selection by Brock Rose and the new Langley Thunder Junior A team occurred. They had just moved from Surrey. I continued coaching, initially as the head coach in Langley with Junior A, and then as the assistant coach to Jake Elliott for Langley's first appearance in the BC Junior Lacrosse League playoffs, something that was super fulfilling and enjoyable. I transitioned back to home and became the assistant GM with the Maple Ridge Burrards under Darren Fridge, and then taking on the GM role, working closely with Lance Andre, whom I have a lot of respect for. My other life in lacrosse began in 2010 when I was asked by the then BCLA Executive Director Rochelle Winterton to take on a role as a regional coach and Team BC Field Lacrosse Coordinator. My initial role was to organize provincial boys teams to compete at nationals. It was a time when travel teams were on the rise and in the BC lacrosse landscape. I approached Rochelle and pitched the idea of me forming a travel team through Team BC to compete in recruiting events. She approved this, and I took a U16 team down to Baltimore and competed with other American teams. Through this experience and years to come, I felt I gained some valuable experience that I could share with families here in BC. Our boys program, with the guidance of Scott Browning, who had coached a few national championships for us and taken our teams, which became an annual program, to Baltimore. And our U19 team was managed by Fred Laughlin for many years, so we had a lot of stability and growth, and we had cultivated some good young coaches, but there was nothing going on the girls' side. I organized our inaugural girls travel team, where we attended Palm Springs, an event. I recruited Naomi Wolzer as our head coach, and we put together a team of grades 7 to 12 aged girls. Megan Kinna and Ashley Bull were two of those girls, both of whom went on to compete for Team Canada. Megan Kinna recently winning the sixes with Team Canada, and Ashley Bull currently a very committed coach with the Team BC women's program. Through our development, a couple of years in, I'd heard of a coach named Dan Stroop, another lacrosse great, and the fact that he had 3 lacrosse playing daughters. Well, I jumped on it. I lined up a meeting with him, and I recruited him to coach with our program. Also, with Dan, his wife Rita Stroop became a program team manager, and then my right-hand gal and friend for life. Along with a very committed group of coaches, we developed a total of 5 women's travel teams. Through the years, we've assisted and supported upwards of 200 girls as they attained U.S. scholarships to schools, having very fulfilling collegiate careers and obtaining university degrees. Through the years, it wasn't unusual to see notable men's box players and coaches make the transition to the women's field game. Coaches such as Pat Coyle, Chris Gill, Jordy Dean, Jason Bishop, and Fred Jenner. Applying box skills and the style of play to the women's game proved to be very attractive for our girls, and it wasn't uncommon to see our recruits have impact initially when they arrived on a U.S. campus. Selena Soda was certainly our first impact player who went to Northwestern and had a very successful collegiate career. Lacrosse truly has been an integral part of mine and my family's life, and I'm indebted to the sport for that. This past September, our family was blessed with a baby boy, and as long as Regan will have me, I'll be back coaching in 4 short years. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hall of Famer Rey Comeault.
Thanks.
We'll get you over here for the picture. Get over here for the picture, please.
Yes.
On behalf of the Premier, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Just step a little bit before, right up